Anti-Afro-Bengalis, we solved a riddle, which isn't hard to do when it comes to Umar because he's so predictable. He started flagging these random videos, people, all of a sudden, and we figured out why. Now, some people may find it hard to believe that anti-fraud warriors have other things to do besides post videos on Umar. Many of us would love to, on one hand, spend a significant amount of time over than what we do now addressing these issues, but in the end, it doesn't really matter because we're going to get the information to you anyway. So what are we talking about? I recall many of you were sending me clips of Umar going on Fox Soul talking about child support. And I'm going to get it out there right now. His driver's license has been suspended. He didn't follow court orders. That is what gets you tripped up every time. And let me say this. I recognize the issue of child support is a lightning rod in our community. It's one of those issues that people use to trigger us into polarizing, making us think or encouraging us to think that black men are uniquely targeted when it comes to child support. That to me is just a ploy to keep our community polarized. In every culture, when you have situations where the parents are not living together, whether they're divorced, whether they were never married, that doesn't change a thing about parents being responsible for the children they bring into this world. This is common sense, which we all know, everyone is aware of this, but still this narrative about black men being targeted. It doesn't matter whether you are a multimillionaire or whether you don't have any income. You still are responsible for paying. If you can't physically pay because, say, you're unemployed, that doesn't stop the responsibility for continuing to accumulate. Does that mean if a parent doesn't have a job that a child doesn't eat? No, there are options, and we know there are options. So when you hear that comment, because I'm going to get back to Umar in a second, she put him on child support. First off, men and women / fathers and mothers are legally obligated. There isn't one responsibility assigned to the father over the mother. A lot of times what you see happening in all cultures, the children tend to live with the mother, who's responsible for the daily care and supervision of the children. And whatever denomination of visitation is worked out, that is the situation. It doesn't have anything to do with who has legal custody or financial responsibility or responsibility for schooling or responsibility for medical care. And in fact, most states have it as a matter of legislation that 50-50 is automatic for child support and custody. I'm throwing in both together, although they are two separate areas. And in order for one parent over the other to be granted full legal and full physical custody of the children, there has to be some very serious mess going on. And let me clarify, I am not talking about a default judgment where one parent doesn't show. I'm talking about where the court has looked at the situation and mediators are involved and one parent gets sole physical and sole legal custody. That is not common. In fact, there has been research, and you can look it up, something like 94% of cases result in joint physical and joint legal custody. I'm not discounting anybody's individual experience. I am giving you facts based on research. And number two, my experience over many years with many different cases, having access to the actual court documents. Now, people obviously would have access to their own documents, and it wouldn't be something you would necessarily go out in the neighborhood and pass around because it's highly sensitive information. So it's easy for us to judge based on our own unique experiences. Even if you have a friend or a relative, is that friend or relative going to actually give you the court documents for you to read? Perhaps some might, but a lot of times people are not going to give you all of the information. And when you go to mediation, it's typically only the two people involved. And even in some instances, they meet separately. They don't always meet together. So that is mainly, I'm talking about custody issues. Child support is another venue that I'm going to be addressing, and I'm going to get back to the situation involving Umar and the latest. How and why do we think every state in the United States came up with these regulations to compel payment of child support? Because simply sending people a letter and saying you owe child support wasn't resulting in people paying child support. So there had to be other measures employed. Wage garnishment, suspension of driver's license, suspension of passport, suspending professional licenses. Those are strategies that states have put in place to collect child support. And here's another thing. If and when someone doesn't pay child support, the other parent is left to seek out assistance from the government. State funds, federal funds, whatever programs they need to apply for, food stamps, health insurance, all of these. These things are not free. So when the government has to assume the responsibility for paying for these expenses, they are going to pursue whatever they can from the parent who is not paying child support. Doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman / father or mother. So people like to get triggered into wanting everybody else to trigger with them and talk about how we're putting a black man down. How are we putting a black man down when we're talking about Umar Johnson? Who has stopped Umar Johnson from paying child support? We've heard some of the excuses that he gave, but there's one thing for sure. Chief X even brought this up. This was like last year. How many people would have protested or been upset had Umar broken off this FDMG school donation money and given it to the mother of the child? How many people would be upset? In uniformity, people said nobody would have said a thing if he used those donations to pay child support. You see what I'm saying, people? So it's a totally selfish disposition to assume that although your child is living and breathing, for some reason you think the money's going to come from where? It is not easy to raise a child on your own. Single parents can attest to that. It's not easy to raise a child with two parents. There are always struggles and challenges. It's made much worse when you have only one side carrying the burden. This is something that Umar seems to think he can be absolved, while at the same time, he's on Fox Soul dictating to people. He's on YouTube bashing parents about his perception of their failures. But guess what? Those parents that he's speaking to, most of them are taking care of their children. Are you serious? So you have this dude up here telling you you're a failure as a parent, and he's been collecting this money for 10 years, more than 10 years, not just 10 years, more than 10 years. This is the second cycle, at least the second cycle of difficulty the state of Pennsylvania has encountered because Umar refuses to pay child support. With the other child, he says, he's saying this, is now 18. There were wage garnishments. There were bench warrants issued for his arrest. There were driver's license suspensions. People, it went through the whole time that the child was a minor. And so now here we are again. And let me say this. Umar came out and talked about this information. He is the one that has brought this to the forefront, and then he has the nerve to get pissed off at people if they comment on it. Furthermore, these records are public access. It says it right here, suspended driver's license. So Umar is not special. He does not get any unique consideration. And the fact that the driver's license was suspended seems to represent he didn't even go to court and try to get some sort of reprieve. And if a person goes to court and gets a reprieve over and over and over, they get a reprieve over and over and over. Some people were irritated because Umar kept going to court on these child support cases and the bench warrants were rescinded. The driver's license revocation was rescinded. I don't care about stuff like that. The fact that you're engaging the court is the issue. If you're blowing off the court, that is when you get warrants issued for your arrest. That's when you get your driver's license suspended if you don't work out some sort of plan with the court. We've heard Umar be very defiant and completely attacking the mother of the children when they are the ones who are taking care of the children in the home. Does that make any sense to you? Just because you're not living with your child doesn't mean you can't go to the school meetings. It doesn't mean you can't participate in doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, anything that the child needs. Doesn't mean you can't take the child shopping. I don't even want to think about the story that he relayed that he had to sit on the couch. Did he even tell us that he filed any documents in the court to say this is bullshit? Nobody's going to fault any person if they go to court and file documents saying this is bullshit. I'm not sitting on a couch. He didn't do that. Why? Because he wants to be able to complain and bellyache and whine and carry on this narrative that he's being mistreated. His rights are being violated. I bet you he can't prove he filed any documents in any court seeking custody. He is just complaining about the child support situation, which is different. This is not very becoming at all, especially since he's going around telling people what failures they are. Umar is talking to himself. You have a very hard sell if you're going to tell me that a parent can't take care of one child, 2 children. Did I say it was easy? No. But you're talking to someone who was raised with 7 siblings. And our dad took care of us. And I say our dad because he was the head of the household. So don't give me crap that you can't take care of one child. It depends on what your priorities are. If your priority is to take care of your child or your children, you will find a way. Does that mean less playtime? Does that mean less traveling around the world in the United States, peddling a $50 Kinko's print job? Yes, it means being responsible. And that is something that is not pairing with Umar. We see irresponsibility. He hasn't paid a single bill at the abandoned bomb shelter. He wants to be seen as this high and mighty school psychologist, but he didn't even complete the continuing education units in the 5-year period required. But he wants to say, I'm this school psychologist and I'm the most requested. People, please. It is nothing but a shit show of irresponsibility. And the nerve of this fool to come on here and issue death threats against us because we're calling him out for his bullshit. We have a right to call him out. He's up here encroaching in fields he doesn't even belong in, or he has no credentials to practice in. And he is finding any way he can to siphon money from our community. That's what has happened. So there's a reason why courts put information in the public domain. It's not meant to harass people. Public knowledge reveals a lot. And let me tell you something. Nobody is a perfect person, but there are degrees of bullshit. And Umar is at the far end of extreme when it comes to the bullshit. Lecturing black folks, denigrating black people, criticizing them at every beck and turn, trying to tell them what they can bring into their homes, who they should marry, how they should do their hair, what kind of hygiene products they should buy, what they should read, where they should go, what food they should eat, who they should vote for, or you shouldn't vote at all, trying so hard to assert a level of control that he knows he'll never achieve, but he likes saying that. This is a fantasy that will never be achieved. Who in the hell is in a position to dictate orders when he doesn't even have his own home? You don't have your own castle. You're not over anything, and you're trying to order people around. It's incongruent. It's asinine. It's a joke, people. And this is yet another example on display. People can complain all they want. Wherever you are listening from, anywhere in the world, where you are and where you live, you're beholding to those laws. If you're living outside the U.S., I know there are people from Great Britain. The laws in Great Britain apply. If you live in the United States, the laws in the United States apply. If you're living in a particular state, you know the laws in that state specifically apply. You don't get to make up your own rules. You don't get to make up your own regulations of life and expect that you're not going to have an answer. The bottom line is this: paying child support is a court order in this situation. Umar didn't do it, and these are the consequences. There are consequences for failing to follow court orders, and they can be very serious. I don't know what else you want anyone else to do about this. This is Umar's responsibility. If he supposedly had all these supporters, why is he in this predicament right now? Because it's a scam that's running on fumes, if that. People are well aware of what's going on. He is not going to get money to open up the abandoned bomb shelter because he never intended to. That's the bottom line, people. How much more proof do you need? Ask yourselves. Some people will never care. Some people just want to get on the opposite side of an issue because they're lacking in so many other areas. They just want attention to be drawn to them. I'm not interested in any of that. So whoever wants to go off and say whatever, fine. Let them do it. I'm not giving them any attention. There has been no change in direction, and many of you who I communicate with offline are well aware of that, but there are people who are new to the sector here. When I say the sector, the anti-fraud warrior sector, not the going back and forth sector. People who want to come to a safe place, have engagement that's productive, and you don't have to worry about being attacked for your views or targeted. This is the place you can come. And also want to make sure you know, if you have any questions about any sort of resource you can access because you are being harassed or targeted, you can always send me an email. I can make sure you get linked up with a referral that can assist you. In the meantime, there is much more to come. I'm looking forward to the day when we can share more information about what's going on. And if you have any questions again about anti-fraud warriors, we are the ones to ask because we know what the hell's going on with us. In the meantime, maintain your dignity and adherence. Buyer, beware.